All right, what's up, y'all? So, I wanted to talk about this sleep akin to sleep thing. So, Neville Goddard has this technique, and it's very similar to someone named Thomas Edison, who you may have heard of, and then someone named Salvador Dali, or Dali, however you say it. He was a painting in the early 1900s. So, Salvador Dali, what he used to do was sit in a chair. He would sit in a chair, and this is when he was looking for some type of idea, some unique or creative idea to paint. He would sit in a chair, and oftentimes he would use a key. So just like a house key or a car key or something, or more than likely a house key because he was back then. So a metal house key to a door or something, and then he would put it in his hand and hang his hand over the side of the chair. And then also, what he would do is put a metal plate underneath that so that when he would drift into that sleep, he would drop that key, it would hit the plate and wake him up. So Thomas Edison, I believe, actually got that from, or Dali got it from Edison. I don't know. Whoever came first, I don't know. I probably should know. Um, Edison would hold a metal ball, and then he would sit in a chair, put the ball in his hand, and then a metal plate at the end, at the bottom, and then he would doze off, drop the ball, and it would wake him up. Okay, so what they were doing is basically what they were doing is they were trying to dip into that sleep realm. Basically, Neville Goddard, he would say, lay in your bed. I don't think he had a chair type of deal. He would just say, lay in the bed, and then for 10 minutes before you go to sleep, you would like you would just visualize your thing all the way until you go to sleep. So then you have that thing freshly in your conscious mind, so that when you go to sleep, it's going to go into your subconscious mind more smoothly. So what I think is going on here, basically, basically, we just want to try to imprint these things into our subconscious mind. Period. That's the whole law of attraction and manifesting thing right there. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you want to impress that thing into your subconscious mind. So then, you know, a man is as his heart is. So your subconscious mind, which I believe could be another word for heart and not your physical heart. Just use subconscious mind and heart interchangeably. That's how I do it. Basically, that thing, your heart, it it has a electromagnetic field, and it speaks to the quantum field. All right. So whatever it is that's in your subconscious mind, your deep beliefs in your heart, your mind, that's being projected through this field to the quantum field. And the quantum field is where all matter comes from. Okay? So that's pretty much the basics of it, I think, for the most part. And then, like I said, if you have a goal, all you're trying to do is impress that subconscious mind. So, for instance, I've been looking at my bank account for, I don't know, it's been a couple of weeks, because I noticed that there's been these deposits. The past couple of weeks there's been a deposit. Last week and the week before that there was a deposit of the same exact amount of money. It was not a check. I didn't get paid from doing any work for that thing. There was nothing attached to it. All it said was a deposit from, it was from the bank. It wasn't from a business or a company, or it wasn't from insurance, anything. It was a deposit from the bank. It just looked like the bank just deposited money into my account. There was two of them back to back. It was a pretty good sized amount of money too, and it just deposited into my account. Same exact dollar amount. So I'm kind of taking it as that. I've been doing these affirmations. I'm testing it out, man. I'm experimenting with it, and this stuff really seems to be true. I think your reality is more plastic than you realize. So, look, if you got something that you're aiming for, if you got a big goal, something big and lofty, something that somebody is telling you that you can't do, I'd go ahead and just ignore them on that. Just go ahead and go for it. And I mean, watch these videos as motivation, because I I had no belief that I could do this stuff. I had no idea that this stuff was real. And I really just encourage you to dive in and start doing your research and just do it. You can start with something simple, little meditations. I remember downloading this Calm app, and I think they'll give you a 30-day free trial. And what I did was, and this was years ago, this was like 5 years ago. There was a free trial. I got in, I did the free trial, and it was I think it was like 19 days to learn how to meditate or something like that. And it taught me something new every single day about meditation. And then that's where it really kicked off. So then I found Joe Dispenza, and then I started to meditate for hours every day, like an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. Sometimes I would do an hour in the morning, hour in the afternoon, hour in the evening, and it was really good. So, and then you can, from there, you can do your affirmations, visualizations, songs. Music is a big one. You could journal, write things down. Anyways, we can go on and on, but I just want to let you know there's those three things, those three people. Edison used the ball. Salvador Dalí, he used a key in the metal plate. And then Neville Goddard, his is probably the easiest. You could just lay down in your bed and just visualize, but just make sure you have that mentally rehearsed in your mind before you sit down, so you're not like getting discouraged or whatever. But there's those three things, and you can start pretty simple. So, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to dive deeper into this stuff, just comment below. I'm gonna be talking about this stuff for the next 30 days. So, bye.